I want to invite you all to close your eyes. And as Sam introduced us as it relates to Wild, I do what she does and we do it together. And so today we're going to begin anew with a meditation. And in this moment, we're going to take our moment to be present in this comfortable spot. Even if it's not quiet, I want to invite you to take a few deep breaths as we talk about managing and balancing the inhale and the exhale, the rhythm and the beat, allowing your mind to relax with your body planted firmly on the ground, feeling what's beneath you, the earth. As you're inhaling and exhaling, for some of you, you might be connected that we just ended the Mercury retrograde. And for others, welcoming in this full moon today. Yet all together, here we are in this space, inhaling and exhaling, present with the intentions around nature, energy, balance, and grace. I want to invite you to picture yourself in a field or forest beneath a large leafy tree with strong branches. And as you're inhaling and exhaling, inhale the smell of the rich soil and clean air, allowing your ears to listen to the wind rustling through the leaves and notice if you hear any birds or animals stirring within. Now, for some of us, this might take us a bit to visualize, and that's okay. Go at your own rhythm and pace, inhaling and exhaling, visualizing the trees, the leaves, the branches, being able to be present in this moment. Now, picture yourself reaching out to touch it. Ooh, what does it feel like? The texture of the bark. Be aware of the shade the tree offers, the wood it provides, how clean the air feels and smells, and all of its beauty, inviting you to inhale and exhale. Yes, something might be on your mind in this moment. I want to encourage you to come back to this visualization, being near the tree, appreciating the tree as a living organism. Imagine it drinking up the water through its complex root system. Inhale and exhale, visualizing the lengthening, spreading the branches and the leaves opening towards the sun. Ooh, it's so bright. The warm sun is beaming down as you soak up the light. You feel your whole body fill up with a renewed energy and calm. Inhale and exhale, finding your pace, your rhythm, your balance, giving yourself permission to be in this moment. I want to invite you to take a deep breath in, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold that breath right there and release with a sigh. And on this next deep inhale, I'm going to invite you, when you hold it at the top, to envision the intention of how you want to leave this session with Samantha and I. To go ahead and take a deep inhale in 5, 4, 3, 2. There you go. Hold it there. And release with a sigh. Inhaling and exhaling to the rhythm and the pace of your breath. When you're ready, give yourself permission to open your eyes and take this restorative energy and calm with you into the rest of the session, leading into the rest of the day. Sitting still and being present. Welcome.
Thank you, Shantae, for guiding us into that practice. We wanted to start with a meditation to be able to calm and fully arrive in this moment. Ashante shared, there's something about nature that is soothing and freeing. And as we're in the hustle and bustle of the everyday and moving from tasks and projects to the next, sometimes we forget to breathe. We forget to pause. So holding on to that word or phrase or image that is allowing you to find balance and center, we invite you to bring that with you through this session. And here I just have a storm starting, and there is a flash of lightning above me. So Mother Nature is for sure with us. The purpose of today is to, in the short amount of time that we have, is to begin to explore the science of stress, well-being, and nature in order to signal to our bodies that we are safe in order to improve our quality of work and life. Through this session, we'll have some time, some interaction. You'll be actually going into breakout rooms, connecting with one another to start to discuss strategies that help to support you between the pause and transition from going task to task to help you manage and reset your energy to improve your performance. And to get us started with that, we wanted to give you a little bit of an overview around what is stress and how does it impact our body and brains and how we are showing up. We have learned the science of stress and well-being from Dr. Alexandria Crosswell. She's one of our wild sages. She's a scientist, a psychologist. And we wanted to show you these two different paradigms to really tee up our session today. Stress, I wanted to give you first this definition. Stress, the demands of the environment outweigh the resources we need to cope with it. And so reducing or even managing stress is almost impossible. And what we want to teach you is how can you come and respond to stress from a place of calm and ease. The old paradigm on the left here shows us that it used to be like that we were kind of at this calm ease state, and then there would be a threat that we needed to respond to. And that's where we see the increase. It's this, physiological threat response. We might feel it in our chest, right? A little anxious or nervousness. And it's when we're going into that fight, flight, or freeze mode. And a stressor that we're responding to could be the ping on our phone, a text message, an email, a deadline. And our body is responding as if it were a major threat, like a bear. The new paradigm is showing that we're actually always activated. There's always this level of stress, or kind of like a hum frequency, that we are on alert and that we are ready for threats, so that it might be a little bit softer and then increases. Again, a project that's coming up. I have a big workshop on Monday, so there might be a little bit more stress or that threat feeling, and I feel in my body. And it's thinking about how do we create what we're calling safety signals or recovery strategies to let our body know that we're safe. It's physically calming our nervous system so that we can respond to those stressors with confidence and more ease. So this paradigm is what we're going to work from. And it's showing us that, again, that red, we're still on that kind of that hum or that alert. We might start our day with a little bit of that stress or anxiety. And it's creating daily practices to then bring us down. Again, we're signaling to our body and mind that we are safe and that we're okay. So we can respond to our projects, emails, individuals, feeling more in balance with self. And we're going to give some examples of what those recovery strategies and safety signals could be. And it's how you navigate your energy throughout the day. Because it could be moving from one meeting to the next could bring up more stress. So what can you do in your schedule to create some calm before going into potentially the next high stress situation? And stress, as we know, isn't always bad. It kicks up some kind of momentum. It challenges us to grow. But it's when we're in this heightened state for too long, when we're out of balance and we're constantly in the responding to threat mode, that's when it can lead to burnout and greater stressors. So Shantae is going to talk us through, what does that look like when we are out of balance? How can we bring ourselves back into balance so we are more engaged and more productive and thriving in our work and life?
Yo, Sam, thank you. So, what was really dope about that, when Dr. Crosswell introduced that concept, I was like, what? Stress? Not bad. Yo, I guess. I mean, she is a scientist, right? And so thinking about what Sam just shared around that hum, that bing, that desire to move and move and move and move. But where's the pause? And so the slide that you're seeing now is this concept around being above the line and below the line. And Sam and I, we have an opportunity often to talk about this as it relates to well-being and stress and being in balance and then being out of balance. The being out of balance part. Imagine, right? Just losing your balance real quick. You know that feeling? Yeah, that's that piece when it comes to being out of balance, when it comes to, as you see at the bottom, being below the line. Now, I have a question first before I go through this slide. When you think of well being, stress, and being in balance as it relates to your role, what comes to mind? Go ahead and drop it in the chat. When you think about well being, stress, being in balance. Now, being in balance is above the line. That's when you thrive. And that's when you like, hey, I'm out here. I'm doing it. Let's go. What comes to mind for you, either both personally or professionally? Go ahead and drop it in the chat when you think about it. And so, for example, for me, as you all are coming up with what you're going to share, when I think about being in balance, there is a different energy that I have. I'm willing to take more risks. I feel like this space of positivity and safety, as Sam has shared earlier around this psychological safety. I feel safe in what the things that I'm doing. Thank you. Thank you for that, Elijah. So that non-present moment thinking is out of balance for me. Mm, wow, Samantha. Yes, the Monday scaries. Something about that Monday. I mean, for me, Mondays, look a little different. But for everyone else, it's all based on how you feel. And so with Samantha saying how Monday's scary, she's feel more out of balance when it comes to the Mondays. Anyone else? Y'all can go ahead and drop it out. Yeah. When there's no plan. Ooh, a mirror. Wow, that part. Or my to-do list is whack. Oh my goodness. It's something about that to-do list, right? And so as you're still dropping in the chat about when you're feeling out of balance, this particular slide is to support this idea around the thriving, being above the line, that courage, engagement, innovation, connection, in comparison to being below the line, that surviving, that flight, fight, appease, freeze, or disassociate, that feeling of tightness, the way in which you don't feel safe and you feel threatened, that's surviving. Being able to, as Christina is sharing in the chat, that tightness in your chest, that feeling of stress. For some of us, that probably shows up as like a panic attack too. The physical pieces, right? And then being out of balance and like a monkey wrench gets thrown in your day, something that doesn't go right, and you kind of like just everything is off, right? What if we told you that there is a way to support when feeling out of balance? That you literally have everything you need to support when you're feeling out of balance. to go from surviving in that fight, flight, freeze, or appease and disassociate mode to being above the line. Now, go ahead, everybody. You don't have to come off mute, but if you want to, I want to invite you to, and I want you to just repeat after me. Above the line. Yep, I heard you. Yep, that was clear. Try it again. Go ahead and say above the line. Yep, I saw your lips moving. And one more time. And I'm going to encourage those who do feel okay to come off mute to say it on the count of 3 above the line. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Above
Above
the
the
line.
line.
Yes, collectively, that's the vibe, right? So that's where we're going to take you next. This thriving above the line, the courage, engagement, innovation, and connection. Being able to do that, though, requires a tool or so. And so as we move from being able to know that, there's this thing about recovery, right? For those of us who probably work out and have our rest days, being able to flow to the next thing, you got to have a pause. And that pause to support being above the line and thriving comes in the recovery strategies, which, when coming to the next slide, in talking about that. So when you're feeling out of balance, thinking about recovery strategies to support how you're showing up. Going from being below the line, out of balance, to being above the line, being in balance and thriving. Now, some things that Sam and I, or Samantha and I, decided to share with you all about recovery strategies that we do, morning and evening rituals. What does that look like for you? You know, how do you go to bed at night? How are you putting yourself to sleep? How are you waking up? Are you grabbing your phone the first thing? No judgment, just a little side eye. You see it right there. What about meditation? How are you stepping into spaces in your day? Something that I do morning, I call it my morning mindfulness, is in the morning, journaling and holding space with a sister circle that I have about writing and being able to find my time to inhale and exhale. Breathing techniques, movement. That could be exercise, that could be dancing, literally stretching. Bio breaks. How often are you holding that? You know what I'm talking about. You be like, I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna need you to go when you know you need to go before you need to go, right? Being able to release that, right? Staying hydrated. Where your water at though? Go ahead and if you have something to drink from, go ahead and take that out right now. Yep. And collectively, we're gonna go ahead and take a sip. How was that for you? Music. Being able to find the rhythm and the pace and the balance and managing it all in how you are listening to the vibrations, right? So recovery strategies show up differently for everyone. I love how we have in the chat and celebrating being able to incorporate these strategies. Also with the mirror sharing too, and leaving the phone in the kitchen overnight. Isn't that something, Amira? I leave my phone on my desk in my living room every night. Shout out to the pandemic. Shout out to the unplug and the disconnect. It definitely is something that shifts, but thinking about how are you recovering, and not just finally in the moment too, right? So when you're feeling out of balance, let's say that monkey wrench is thrown, you're like, yo, what happened? A breath can shift that. The pause and the breath to transition from the chaos to the clarity. And so now we're going to give you an opportunity to transition that and have an opportunity to talk through recovery strategies and how you recover.
Thank you, Shantae. I feel like for one of my recovery strategies, it's listening to Shantae and her voice. It's finding something, as she shared, that is calming and soothing. And as she mentioned, we made this list, and some of you have shared in the chat what you do. And I want you to really think about, we're going to bring you into breakout rooms. There's going to be about a handful, a small group, 3 to 4 in each breakout room. And you're going to have a chance to share and connect, to share what strategies do you use. And if you are like, I have no idea what is going on or what they're talking about, that's okay too. To sit in that space, to listen, what works for other people, and to really think about what is realistic for you and your lifestyle and routine. Maybe you can't do an hour yoga flow every day. It just doesn't fit into your time or energy. So that's when we're coming back to energy and when we think about nature, because Mother Nature does what she needs to do when she needs to do it. Today she is raining. She is refueling, rejuvenating the earth. And oftentimes we respond from a place of threat and stress rather than a place of what our energy and our body is telling us. So thinking about your day, maybe even when you're going into this group session, think about your calendar and thinking about how it starts. How do you start your day? Do you have any time for you? 5-minute quiet time? Is it journaling? For me, I actually went outside today, had some coffee and journaled for like 5 minutes. And then you get a little bit further into your day. Your meeting starts, you're head down in work, you have a quick client call that just popped up. Can you spend 2 minutes and taking 3 deep breaths before going into that? That's the pause and the transition, because we quickly go from one to the next. But where can you pause, recollect your energy to move into the next thing? So going into these breakout rooms, we will be asking for you to discuss and share recovery strategies that you currently have that allow you to reset, to come back into those projects, or ones that maybe you want to implement. Maybe on your list for a long time, you've been thinking of, I don't want to sleep with my cell phone in my bedroom. I want to try that. And if there's even time, maybe sharing what will keep you accountable to that. Can you write it somewhere? Can you maybe tell someone? Because that's the thing too, you're creating new habits to feed and fuel off of your energy. And what can you do that works for you to stay accountable to it? So we're going to give you about 7 minutes in these groups. We invite you to, again, to introduce yourself. I think this is one of my recovery strategies, is being able to connect with people. Knowing that this is a safe space of learning and growing, to introduce yourself, your name, your pronouns, where you're coming from, and then to discuss these strategies that you currently have or want to implement. So I will start by opening the breakout rooms, and then we will bring you back when it is time. And I will actually put on the timer, you should be able to see. We'll give you about 5 minutes for this, and we'll see you back very soon. And you should have something pop up to be able to join the breakout room. So there should be something popping up on your screen to be able to join a breakout room. Just make sure that you click on that and it will move you into that space.
I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. Beautiful life. Beautiful life. Listen, I woke up this morning, y'all. The sun was shining oh so brightly. I thought about how good this life is. Back in the day, it wasn't always like this. I think about the things we done been through. I think about the place that I come from. It wasn't always easy, so every day I'm thanking God for the beautiful people everywhere I go.
Looks like we're back. Hey. So how y'all feeling right now? Because I feel like when you all left, you were definitely in a space. Yes, we gotta make sure it's right? With some Chuck Brown in there. I'm just give us a second. I like to do a little dance moment. Mm. Yes. What a beautiful life it is when we find ways to manage and balance our energy, to improve our performance, to improve results, to improve our lives for the betterment of our well being. So, you all rocked out, and you noticed that all of you all were probably there. I'm hoping y'all turned y'all video on, you know what I'm saying, and got to connect. Sam and I would like for you all to share what recovery strategies did you all share in the chat as you chatted. And please feel free if anyone wants to come off of face mute and or mic mute to share out loud. That definitely is open. You can raise your hand.
I like
Oh,
to
go
share.
ahead. Say your name for us, please.
My name is Elijah, and one recovery strategy that I use, I share with my group, is I do heavy breathing techniques. So usually in the morning when I get up and I don't grab my phone or anything, I instantly sit there for 10 minutes and recuperate all my thoughts I had throughout the night or any dreams that I can remember. and I instantly go into a breathing. So I will usually start off with like Wim Hof or like a breath of fire. And then as I go throughout the day, if I feel any like bad stress impending on me or anything, I try to step back and just do like some like 10 deep breaths throughout the day. And I end my day off with a breathing technique. So those are like some things that help me a lot.
Boom, 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 boom. Yo, let's give it up for Elijah with that share, the breathing techniques. And that's such a good thing, Elijah, too. And I loved how you took us through your day as well. Like when you wake up, that visual. Because most folks, wake up differently, right? Everyone is given a different type of life, either having little humans around or no little humans or being fur parents. Like there's so many things that are happening. Elijah, what you were able to do though is give us your version of how you wake up. And I saw that being able to be intentional about the safety, about the breath, being able to connect in that way. And so, as again, let's go ahead and show some love if you can in the chat for Elijah and his share, them sharing about how they wake up and how they do what they do with that breath work. You know what I mean? Perfection, perfection. So now I'm going to go ahead and say, put it in the chat. One recovery strategy you will practice for the rest of October. Come on now. It's already October 20th and we have 11 days left. Can you believe it? Guess what's else on the horizon too? Daylight savings time is about to pull up. But just focusing on October, one recovery strategy that you will commit for yourself to practice for the rest of October. And this could look different, right? That practice could be in the morning. Yes. Okay. Morning devotion before phone time every day. Thank you, Amira. Who else? Daily journaling for at least 10 minutes in the morning. Love that. Love that, Samantha. What else we got? Positive words to yourself. Yes, Elijah. That affirmation, waking up and allowing yourself to do that. Mm. More hydration, not jumping toward my phone and journaling for at least 10 minutes. I love that. I love the intention around that. It's like a new strategy, something that I will take in, that hydration. Stay hydrated. Yes, morning pages, Amira. Yes. And for that concept around morning pages, for those of you who don't know about morning pages, actually, where is my, well, you gotta stay ready, so I have to get ready, right? So the artist way. Shout out to my homegirl Chrissy that's on the in here in the room. So that the morning pages and being able to journal, something around the artist way that she talks about is the connection, right? So if you haven't experienced it, as you can see, Amira sharing like, yo, transformative, it's a whole nother level. But one of the recovery strategies she offers is morning pages, where when you wake up first thing in the morning, write. Of course, do your bio break, grab some water, but allow yourself to just go into just having this dump. And the dump is what you are able to release to then support that other energy. So it's like getting out the, it sounds just like that, whatever's present to you, and then being able to transition that thought process to then open up for the rest of the day. Your creativity, the artist within you, the child within you, but yes, it being transformative. So these 10 minutes of journaling, that's connected to that morning pages. Something that she shares is like being able to write, I want to say 3 full pages each day. And so being able to have that, and that's an approach that I do. Yes to the stillness and openness. Yeah, 3 full pages or 15 minutes. There we go, Amira. So for those of us who are saying 10 minutes of journaling, if you add another 5, you got morning pages on there. I'm just saying. So stillness and open space for inspiration and creativity. Great. This is good, y'all. Go ahead and do me a favor. We're gonna go ahead and take the slide off, and I'm gonna have Samantha come back on her video as we get ready to wrap up, because here we are together. We've been rocking, we've been rolling, and in gratitude of holding space with you all and having this moment, and y'all stayed, y'all rocked out. And so we want to open up this space for any closing questions that you may have before we close out completely.
I just wanted to say it's not a question or anything. I'm grateful that you two came and kind of shared all of these thoughts with us, and I give a lot of gratitude to everybody that's here, and I wish that everyone has a great day. Yeah.
I just wanted to say too, I don't have a question, but I thought that this was so amazing and so confirming with some of the things that I've already been implementing into my day already. I'm a newer full-time business owner, so finding that balance and finding your space, your routine, your flow is so difficult that I don't think gets expressed enough amongst business owners and entrepreneurs of just finding space for yourself to reset, to rebalance. So I thought this was a great addition. Shout out to the DC Startup Week team for adding this. Yes, thank you.
Thank you to you both for sharing. Shantae and I talk about this a lot, both as entrepreneurs and as you're both sharing, like navigating the day to day. If we don't have time for us, we're not able to show up for whoever we're serving. And this could be our clients, our customers, ourselves, our family, our friends. And so encourage you also as a recovery strategy. Do you have a buddy, a pal? Shantae, I would say, is someone who helps to remind me of when I need to rest and when I need stillness. And to encourage you to know that when you have that, you do perform better, you show up as your best. And to release any of that, we call it the inner critic, the negative self-talk. I'm not good enough. I should be working. I should be pushing out this proposal to make more money, and kind of come back to what can I do for 5 minutes to reset? And that will still be there. That email you can still get to, and just having that grace and compassion for yourself too.
And to that point too, yes, Elijah, and dissolving that ego, and that conversation as an entrepreneur working in a startup, this constant grind, which we've seen already has shifted, right? With the culture of like, yo, I ain't grinding no more. I ain't out here grinding. Good. Doing things like resting, right? And for some of us, it's like rest is radical. It's, that recovery. And here's the best part. I put the hashtag in there, but that mask on first, right? Literally, of course, as we experienced with, the pandemic and COVID. But prior to that, right? When we're getting on a plane, for those of us who be riding high in the sky. And that's what the first thing they say, if you got somebody with you, mask out. They've been saying this since the beginning, y'all. And so thinking about that concept to support how you show up as it relates to your well-being, as it relates to your health, your mental health, your emotional health, your capacity. Your capacity is real. And so these different recovery strategies are supporting you to stay in balance, right? So again, above the line. Surviving is below the line. You trying to survive out in these streets? I'm just saying, we're hoping that as you are transitioning out of this session soon, that you look at it different, right? Thriving is bay. Everything is bay for me when it's all good, right? But that thriving piece, right? How are you thriving with intent? Being able to step into that power. And then to close it out too, and just kind of as you're considering these recovery strategies, because you might fall off, no lie, right? But however, the accountability. Is there anyone in here that you could tap in? Tap in. You know what I'm saying? Did you get any email addresses from folks when you've been networking? That was the thing when I lived in DC. It was always, so what do you do? And I'm like, so how are you going to change the world? And so thinking about how you're intentionally connecting with folks for the betterment of you, right? So if there's someone here around accountability that you want to reach out to while we're still here, go ahead and ping them in the DM, goes down in the DM, and just say, share your email address and share that part. Because for us here at Wild, as we're transitioning out, we want to share with you the last slide that we're going to show is how to get in touch with us, right? So we do this work. We about this life. Gang, 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 but not really like gang, but gang in a good way for well-being. And so we just dropped in a chat from Samantha. You can follow us on Instagram at Wild Leadership for daily reminders to create rest and stillness to be your best self. Also, you can find us on our website as well, that we could be able to drop in the chat, that you can see us in the, being able to connect and having space held. Something that we also want to leave you with. You have everything you need right now. So step into your best self. Managing and balancing your energy starts with you. There's not anything else out here in these streets. Y'all go ahead and take care. Thank you.
Beautiful.